We got our first breadfruit this year. Got the first avocados off of the big tree in 5 years. Got the first dwarf coconuts this year. This area is still similar, but getting plantains finally. These trees are getting big. This mess is now cleaned and organized. Egg fruit, ornamentals. This tree produced guava for the first time this year. Pretty big guavas. That's the ram pump in the background. I did clean this hill entirely again, but it's growing back. Every single part of this banana hill is now fully producing and cleaned. Little steep down here, but all of it's been cleaned and maintained. All the chocolate trees are now producing. Getting quite a fair amount off of these trees. Mangoes produced very well. And as you will see up here, that has been entirely cleaned. Used to be a mass and a wall of growth, but now it is turning into the greenhouse area where a permanent structure will be built. But for now, I'm just doing shade cloth for all the potted plants. Uncovered old cement foundations. That's what these potted plants are all on. Had to top this jackfruit with the axe, but it's popping back fast. Really big turmeric harvest in here coming soon. Had to prop this tree up after Hurricane Ernesto, but it's doing good. Chickens are doing very well, getting big. Whole hill down there is consistently kept up and cleaned. All this wild area is now maintained, mostly under control. Just finished the water system yesterday. Fully renovated, so it no longer has the tank where it was before. No PVC lines, only the 1/2-inch black poly. Now we have 2 tanks feeding each other with the camping battery solar setup on top. So the 2 tanks feed into each other, branch into black poly lines. One for the washer, one for the marine pump that runs the hot water shower. Finally got this. Set it up in a circular tower, a lot more sturdy. This is about to be recleaned, but Vivian spends a lot of time in this little mini pool. A lot of time. Have all these familiar spots, but now this whole area is open and cleared. All sides of the Connex are covered. The excavation back here is going on with good drainage. Washing machine, hot water shower, free sink from the side of the road. Getting a little civilized back here. Fully tarped and bambooed. So this is now kind of the bamboo room. We have a full-on living space. Stays almost completely dry, some drips. The little cute pup. Name is Buttercup. This area is all fully cleared down there. We have the chicken coop that's halfway constructed. Good for little ones, but the adults pop out during the day. This is the guamá tree that fell in Ernesto, but it is still alive, so I'm using it as tie-offs. All of this scrap tin paneling is good for keeping the dog out. Fully cleared this entire lower area that was just a wall before. About right here, this used to be 8-foot wall of just vines. But now this whole hillside is cleared. Rotated the solar panel to get more direct light. We had it backwards. That stood the storm really well. Slowly getting more sugarcane growth. All of this was just a mass of vines and scrub. Just saw a cat. Might be one of mine. That has come back, I don't know. Cats around a lot. This whole lower tier is now cleared. Avocados down there. Bananas. Barking dog, of course. That tree is a ceiba. It's the sacred one that's all endangered. Planted a bunch of new bananas that are starting to pop up. Lots of new area, really big open spaces compared to when you saw it last. All these coconuts are getting bigger. All of the roads are now fully open, easily maintained. Little star fruit's even producing pretty well. Gonna have to mow the road to the pool again, but it's open. This area is getting big, getting my first avocados off of some of the trees I planted in this old open grass area. Probably 120 coconuts everywhere. Every space I can, I'm putting them. This flamboyant is actually getting really big now, finally. We have the little outhouse. Gonna put in a septic system here in the next bit. The ladies are tired of the stinky outhouse, and I don't blame them. Even did some exploration and clearing over here, which is actually pretty cool. Gives you a view over 2 of the roads. Goes all the way to the edge of the hill, overlooking the road pool and the road to the cistern tank that has the ram pump next to it. But all of these are being maintained now. And these bananas are starting to bounce back. About 3/4 of my bananas were damaged in the storm, but I have fixed them all since, and they're all bouncing back quickly. Lots of new coconuts, bananas, katuk, all the simple stuff that I like. Got my first plantains to actually pop. But as you can see, these avocados are getting full size. Dragon fruit on every available tree that I can. Big, massive bunch of plantains. Pretty much full shade in here all day now. And this was just open grass when you first came. We got Viv's tent. Keeps bone dry even in heavy, heavy, heavy rain. It's got my recliner and a table, bed frame. She's actually probably got the sweetest spot. It's the old bed frame from the Montero, converted for her. More cacao. And this entire hillside with all the bananas has now been cleared and is producing. Little steep to work on, but very good soil in here still. And I'll do one little last spot where I have a second set of stairs connecting to the end of the upper road. And I will end it there. Sam says it looks like a resort, especially when it's cleaned. I have to admit, I'm really appreciating all this shade, so I don't have to fight as many vines anymore. I'll go right back to this spot. All right, one little bit on this road here. Fully cleaned all of the coconuts in this area. It was nothing but brush and vines. But now I have, I think, 8 or 9 almost fully grown coconuts that will produce here in the next year or so. These are the ones right next to the road that were just hidden. These are the coconuts you saw before. Now these are fully exposed. Definitely noticed everything is a lot closer distance-wise than I realized. Once you clear it and cut out the bad stuff, you realize everything is right next to each other. All you gotta do is cut down the 10-foot tall walls of green. Road to the pool and the cistern tank, still the same. You've seen that. This lower road is fully open, goes to the bottom of the valley. It's fully open. This is the upper road. It is doing quite well in here. Have this final end part, this wall over here that I'm going to clear over the next couple of months. And this side over here to clear. But anywhere there's something that produces food, I have saved the bananas and the coconuts, some of the spice trees. I think I dropped 10 or 15 agrumos on this hill. You can actually see all the way to the hilltop from this road now. Lots of healthy bananas. Lots and lots of good bananas in here now. And couldn't even tell before. Well, it used to be just a straight wall. Now goes clear to the hilltop. So it's now getting a lovely breeze compared to before. Over time, I'm going to clear in between this road and the lower road. Lots of big giant fern trees now. Most of these were tiny when I first came, but now we're getting giant ones all over the place. This was probably the most heavily damaged out of everywhere from the storm. As you can see, there's still bamboo everywhere. I had to drop a bunch of these trees by hand. And I lost essentially every single banana over here. But pruned and trimmed and cut them all back. And then dug up 13 very heavy stumps and planted every single one of them. But now there are stairs right to the Connex. And every one that I planted is popping up new bananas on the upper side of the road to prevent them from falling. That storm took all of these and knocked them down. And this area used to seem completely deep in the jungle, but it's right below the Connex. And now with these agrumos cut down and this hill cleared, there are now bananas popping everywhere. So this was a rough day of work, but entirely worth it. Some of these stumps that I transplanted are enormous. Some of the biggest I've ever done, if not the biggest. But the results are obvious. Really lovely down here. Used to just feel very gloomy, but now it's got a lot of light, a lot of breeze. Going to produce a lot of really good bananas. Very similar to the Cavendish you get in the grocery store. We're going to end this walking back to the Connex with my new stairs. Have new coconuts planted in here. New bananas in here. Gonna add a whole bunch more. And what's lovely is we actually have a view. And there's the Connex. All right, time to head to the airport. Clams of bacon, gentlemen.